You might think your hot flashes, night sweats, brain fog, or sudden weight gain have nothing to do with how you move your body. But what if I told you that exercise, especially strength training, could actually help manage nearly every single one of those menopausal symptoms? I know it sounds too simple, but the science backs it up. The right kind of movement can improve your sleep, stabilize your blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and even help balance your hormones. And here's the thing. You don't need long, grueling workouts to see the benefits. Most women think menopause is just something that they have to suffer through. But what if you could actually feel stronger, have more energy, and reduce your symptoms all by training smarter, not harder? In today's episode, I'm breaking down exactly how exercise impacts menopause, why most women are getting it wrong, and what you can do instead. So if you're ready to stop feeling like your body is working against you and start taking control, you are not going to want to miss this. Let's get started. Welcome to Total Health in Midlife, the podcast for women embracing the pivotal transformation from the daily grind to the dawn of a new chapter. I'm Elizabeth, your host and fellow traveler on this journey. As a life and health coach, I am intimately familiar with the changes and challenges we face during this stage. Shifting careers, changing relationships, our new bodies, and redefined goals and needs as we start to look to the future and ask, what do I want? In this podcast, we'll explore physical, mental, and emotional wellness, offering insights and strategies to achieve optimal health through these transformative years. Yes, it's totally possible. Join me in this amazing journey of body, mind, and spirit, where we're not just improving our health, but transforming our entire lives. Hey everyone, welcome to the Total Health in Midlife podcast. I am your host, Elizabeth Sherman, and I am so excited that you are here, and I could not be more grateful that you are tuning in to today's episode. So, let me ask you something. When you think about staying in shape, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Now, if you're like most women, you probably picture spending an hour at the gym, grinding away on a treadmill, or pushing through a long, exhausting workout. Because for years, that's what we were sold, right? That more exercise meant better results. If we weren't sweating for at least an hour, that it didn't count. But I have some good news for you. Not only is that unnecessary, but as we get older, it actually works against us. The way that we exercise in midlife needs to change, not only because of our time constraints, but also because our bodies, our hormones, and our metabolism are totally different than they were when we were in our 20s and 30s. And this isn't just about fitness. It's about aging well. It's about staying strong and capable so that we can live the life that we want. This is about avoiding the frailty, the injuries, and the loss of independence that can creep up if we're not paying attention. And the best part of this whole thing is that you don't need to spend an hour in the gym in order to make it happen. So today, I am going to show you why shorter, smarter workouts, specifically strength-based training, are the key to staying strong, flexible, and balanced as we age. And I'll share how I personally moved away from long workouts and how I now train for just 20 minutes most days of the week with better results. Plus, I'll break down exactly how movement impacts things like muscle loss, bone density, and menopause symptoms so that you can start making changes that actually support your body and aging well, not do the opposite. And I want you to stick around until the end because I have a free 20-minute workout plan to help you get started today. Now, for decades, we've been told that if we want to be fit, we need to spend hours working out. That the longer we exercise, the better our results will be, right? And where does that belief come from? I'll give you 2 words: diet culture. We were taught that exercise was all about burning calories, about earning our food, about shrinking ourselves. And the message was pretty simple: eat less, move more. And when we were younger, it kind of worked. Our bodies bounced back pretty quickly. We could push harder without feeling completely wrecked. And we saw not only the soreness as a badge of honor, but we saw the exercise as a way to control our weight, right? Like if I ate too many cookies or French fries, I would just work out harder or longer and it would even itself out. But now that approach doesn't just stop working for us, it actually works against us. It starts to backfire because midlife changes everything, right? Our hormones shift, our metabolism slows down, and our bodies respond to stress completely differently. And here's the thing is that exercise is a stressor. When we were younger, we could just push through long, intense workouts and recover relatively quickly. But now, if we overdo it, we're not burning extra calories. We're actually spiking our cortisol, which makes fat loss even harder. It drains our energy and it increases inflammation in our bodies. So if you've been killing yourself in the gym and not seeing results, that might be a really good reason why. And it's not about willpower, it's about science. So instead of focusing on calories in versus calories out, what we need to focus on is actually preserving muscle mass so that we stay strong and capable. We need to protect our bones in order to prevent osteoporosis. We need to improve mobility and flexibility so that we can move throughout life with ease. And we need to be able to support our nervous system so that we're not exhausted and inflamed all the time. This is why the bare freaking minimum approach works better than pushing yourself to exhaustion. If you're still thinking that you need to work out for an hour, hopefully today I will convince you that you don't. You just need the right kind of movement done the right way in less time. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about next. When my husband and I first moved to Mexico, I kept going to a gym. I found a gym and I was going there, just like I did in the States. It was part of my routine and I didn't even think to question it. But there was this one big difference. Most gyms here don't have air conditioning and it gets hot in the summertime. Let me tell you, working out in a hot, humid gym, it's kind of difficult. It's difficult to hold on to the weights. But I did it anyway because that's what I was used to. As a personal trainer, that's what I did. But then I got injured. So I had this thing called piriformis syndrome. It's something with the glutes and it like completely jacked up my back. And if you've never heard of it, just know that it's incredibly painful. It felt like a deep, nagging ache in my glutes that just wouldn't go away. And so I couldn't lift. I could barely move. And for weeks, instead of working out, I had to focus on rehab and physical therapy for this part of my body. And so by the time I was ready to start moving again, I had already built a new habit, which was working out from home. Now, at first, it was just out of necessity, but then I kind of started liking it. I liked it because it was easier. It was more convenient. I didn't need to go to the gym, right? I didn't need to commute. And I realized that the extra effort of going to the gym just wasn't worth it for me anymore. So I stuck with it. 20-minute workouts done at home. And you know what? I haven't looked back. And that's the biggest lesson here. We are taught that more is better, that if we're not grinding away for an hour, that it doesn't count. But if I can get the same, if not better results in 20 minutes, why would I waste an hour? It just doesn't make any sense. And so that's why I train differently today. Instead of separating cardio and strength training, I do circuit style strength workouts where I move quickly from one exercise to the next, and it keeps my heart rate up. It builds muscle and it boosts my metabolism, all in 20 minutes. And for those who are more experienced, something called complexes, where you string multiple exercises together, like a squat into a shoulder press, are even more effective. And this is why strength training is so much more valuable than cardio as we age. It's not just about burning calories, it's about keeping our bodies strong, mobile, and resilient for the long haul. One of the biggest mistakes women make when it comes to exercise in midlife is thinking that it's optional, that I can do yoga or Pilates or just stretch, and that it's something that we should do. But if we miss a workout, it's not that big of a deal. But here's the reality. Strength training isn't just about looking toned or feeling fit. It's about maintaining your quality of life as you age. Let's start with muscle mass. You've probably heard the phrase, if you don't use it, you lose it. And that couldn't be more true when it comes to your muscles. Now, after 40, we naturally start to lose some muscle mass. And if we're not actively working to maintain it or build it, that decline accelerates. Less muscle means slower metabolism, reduced strength, and more difficulty doing basic daily activities. So think about things like carrying groceries or getting up off the floor or even standing up from a chair. Those movements rely on muscle. And if we don't protect what we have, they become harder over time. I think about the person that I want to be when I'm 70 years old, and I still want to be independent, doing things for myself. And it's not just about muscle loss. Bone density is a huge concern in midlife and older age. Osteoporosis affects 1 in 2 women over 50, and fractures, especially hip fractures, are a major reason why older women lose their independence. If you've ever known someone who fell, broke a hip, and never fully recovered, you know how serious this is. The best defense is strength training. Lifting weights puts stress on your bones in a way that actually makes them stronger, reducing your risk of fractures and falls, and then also becoming that frail person in older age. And speaking of falls, let's talk about balance and flexibility. These are things we don't really think about until suddenly we notice that we're not as steady on our feet. Maybe you felt a little off balance stepping off a curb, or realize that you're stiffer when you're getting out of bed in the morning. Those small changes matter because they increase the risk of falls and injuries as we age. But the good news is that balance and flexibility can be trained just like strength. So small daily movements like stretching and mobility work and simple exercises like standing on one leg while you're brushing your teeth, for example, those can make a huge difference. But let's go even deeper because strength training isn't just about muscles, bones, and balance. It has a massive impact on your energy, your mood, and even your menopause symptoms. First, let's talk about energy levels. If you're dealing with that mid-afternoon slump or waking up feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep, strength training can help. It stabilizes blood sugar, improves insulin sensitivity, and it supports your metabolism. So you don't have to experience those big energy crashes throughout the day. And then there's menopause. Okay, so let's be real here. Menopause can make us feel like we're fighting against our own bodies, right? The hot flashes and mood swings, the brain fog and the joint pain. I mean, it's a lot. But here's the thing. Exercise, especially strength training, reduces many of these symptoms. Studies show it helps regulate hormones. It improves sleep and reduces joint pain and inflammation. And here's something that we don't talk about enough. Anxiety and depression in midlife. A lot of women start feeling off in ways that they can't quite explain. Maybe it's a little bit more irritable, more anxious, more down than usual. Hormonal changes play a huge role in that. But exercise has been proven to be one of the most natural ways to boost mood, relieve stress, and combat depression. It releases endorphins and it helps regulate stress hormones like cortisol, and it gives you a sense of strength and control in a time when your body might feel a little unpredictable. So, when I say that strength training isn't just about working out, it's about protecting the future for you. And I mean it. This is about staying capable, independent, and feeling like yourself as you get older. And the best part is that you don't need to spend an hour in the gym in order to get these benefits. Even a few short intentional exercise sessions each week can completely change how you feel now and in the future. Most women get stuck in an all or nothing mindset when it comes to exercise. Now, if I can't do it all, I won't do anything. I know that I was that way. Maybe you've thought, if I can't get to the gym for a full hour, what's the point? I may as well blow it off. Or if I can't do a real workout, it's not worth my time. I know that I didn't want to get sweaty. And so that kind of thinking is what keeps women from staying consistent. And consistency is what actually matters. You don't need more exercise. You need the right exercise done in a way that fits your life and supports your body. So here's what actually works. First, forget hour-long gym sessions. Hopefully, I've already convinced you of that. You do not need them. What you need is focused, intentional movement. A workout that gets the job done without overstressing your body. And that's why I train for just 20 minutes at a time. So I combine strength training with these circuit style movements so that I build muscle and get my heart rate up at the same time. If you've been exercising for a while and your form is dialed in, you can actually take it up a notch with complexes, where one exercise flows into the next. So as I mentioned before, a squat into a shoulder press. Or another variation could be a chest press into a sit-up. You get more done in less time. If you're only going to do one kind of structured workout, make it strength training and commit to just 2 or 3 sessions a week. That's all. You don't have to work out every single day. That's all you need to maintain and build muscle so that you stay strong, support bone health so that you avoid fractures as you age, and boost your metabolism so that your body burns more energy, even at rest. So this is about sustainability. Twice a week is totally doable. And if that feels like too much, start with once. Anything is better than nothing. Just start somewhere and build from there. Now, even if you don't do a structured workout, your body still needs movement every single day. I'm talking about walking, stretching, sitting on the floor, and getting back up again. Carry your own groceries or take the stairs when you can. This kind of movement keeps your joints healthy, your body mobile, and your muscles engaged without adding stress. It all counts. Now, as I've mentioned, I love working out at home. I don't have any travel time, no waiting for equipment, no dealing with crowded locker rooms or showers or anything like that. So you do not need a gym membership to be fit. Body weight exercises do work. Squats, push-ups, and planks don't require any equipment. Resistant bands are a great option as well. They're inexpensive, they take up zero space, and they can be just as effective for strength training. Short workouts at home can be just as effective as long gym sessions. So stop making exercise harder than it needs to be. You don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to do something. If you've been waiting for the perfect time to start, take this as your sign that this is it. Keep it simple and do the bare freaking minimum because it works. Now, I say this with love. If you're thinking, I don't have time to exercise, we both know that that's not true, right? You have time for 20 minutes. What's more likely is that you don't want to do it. And that's totally fine. But let's be honest about it. If you don't want to exercise for 20 minutes, I totally get it. As a younger woman, I used to joke that exercise and Elizabeth didn't belong in the same sentence. I think it's ironic now that I am one of the most consistent exercisers that I know. And I do it because of the benefits, not because I love the act of exercising. If you're telling yourself that you just don't have time, what you probably mean is that you don't feel like it. And that's okay. But what if you started with just 5 minutes? Would that feel doable? Now, I know what you might be thinking. 5 minutes isn't enough. But is it? Going back to the bare minimum, maybe 5 minutes is enough. Because what starting small does is it builds the skill of self-trust. And that is the foundation of being consistent in exercise. You're proving to yourself that you show up when you say you will. That's what creates momentum. Now, if you're someone who says, I don't like lifting weights, let me stop you right there. You don't have to lift heavy barbells at a gym. Strength training can be done in a million different ways. Again, resistance bands work. Body weight exercises work. Carrying your own groceries work. Squatting down and picking things up off the floor. Taking the stairs instead of the elevator. It all counts. What matters is that you're challenging your muscles in some way. And if you don't know where to start, that's why I created my free 20-minute workout plan. I've taken all of the guesswork out of it. You don't even have to spend hours figuring out what to do or wondering if you're doing it right. You just have to show up, follow the plan, and trust that small steps lead to big results. These are the same workouts that I do today. I created this workout plan, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, but I still go back to these exact workouts. So the bottom line is that there's always going to be reasons not to move. But if you want to stay strong, capable, and independent as you age, the choice is simple. Start with what you can do and build from there. So let's bring this all together. If there's one thing that I want you to take away from this episode, it's this. You don't need an hour to get results. That old way of thinking just isn't true, and it's actually keeping a lot of women stuck. Strength training is the key to aging well. It's not about burning calories or trying to fit into a smaller size. It's about staying strong, capable, and independent as we age. It's about making sure that you can move the way that you want to move for as long as possible. And the best part is the bare freaking minimum can be enough if it's done right. If you can commit to 2 or 3 short strength training sessions a week, that's all you need. Add in a little daily movement like walking, stretching, or getting up and down off the floor, and you are already ahead of the game. So, here's what I want you to do next. Try a 20-minute strength-based workout this week, just once, and see how it feels. If you're not sure where to start, I've got you covered. Grab those free 20-minute workouts at elizabeth.sherman/20-minute-workouts. It's simple, it's effective, and it'll help you start building strength without spending hours exercising. And if you can't remember that link, it'll be in the show notes. You don't have to do more. You just have to do what matters. So before I wrap up, I want to hear from you. What's your biggest struggle when it comes to exercise right now? Is it finding the time? Is it knowing what to do? Is it staying consistent? That's a big one for a lot of folks. Send me a DM on Instagram or reply to my latest post and I would love to chat and help you figure out your next step. Now, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. And if this resonated with you, share it with a friend who needs to hear that fitness in midlife doesn't have to be so complicated. Remember, you don't need to do more. You just need to do what matters. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Have an amazing day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in today. Now, if you enjoy the podcast and are ready to take the next step in addressing your health concerns, I would love to invite you to schedule an I Know What to Do, I'm Just Not Doing It strategy call. In this 60-minute session, we will explore what's holding you back and create a personalized action plan. You will gain clarity, support, and practical steps to move you forward. Visit elizabethsherman.com/call to book your call now. You can transform your health, and I would love to be there to help.